Hey everyone, I just want to take a quick second to talk about the difference between writing for an essay and writing for the web. So, if you're going to write for the web, those are normally page content or blog posts. Blog posts are not term papers, and it's not a thesis. It should be persuasive copy, and I'd like to recommend Everybody Writes by Handley. This is a really easy book because it has little, chapters that are just basically rules. And there's a really good rule about semantic HTML that should be discussed. I learned it because I've been working on the web for, 10 years or something. But this is a really good, if you ever want to start writing this way, this is a good tool. Okay? But here's another thing I want to talk about. Do not write so intense that your audience doesn't know what you're saying. Okay? So I just want to take a minute to talk about a tool I really like, which is called the Hemingway App. The Hemingway App is Hemingway app.com. It makes sure, like, their fake text is like, it makes your writing bold and clear. It will say like, oh, here's adverbs, this is really confusing or whatever. It talks about the readability, how many words. It'll tell you how long it takes to read it, the letters, the characters, the sentences. It'll say how many adverbs you have, the use of passive voice, simpler alternatives, that kind of thing. So that's a really, really helpful tool. I use it all the time. So I'd like to encourage you also to use it. It will tell you when things are really difficult to read. So let's take one of my blog posts, because I really don't want to slam somebody else. Of course, my internet's being slow now. Just do a quick copy paste. Notice the headings. Gotta break up the text. And then I'll throw it in the Hemingway app. You just highlight everything, paste whatever text. So this one is grade 5, and that's what you want to aim for. You want 5th grade reading level. It's 910 words, which is really good. I tend to be around 3 to 5, 750 is kind of my sweet spot. So it says there's 9 adverbs, meaning the goal of 11 or fewer. 4 use the passive voice, meeting the goal of 17 or fewer. 2 phrases have simpler alternatives, and then you can go look at those. 10 of 86 sentences are hard to read. 3 of 86 sentences are very hard to read. So then you can go, based upon the color, right? You can go and, so this is the passive voice. It'll say you shouldn't be passive voice. This is a hard to read sentence. We share our day with the next door neighbor standing in the driveway or by posting a photo of our lunch on Instagram. We share our day with our next door neighbor. I probably should have said, or. See, I took that out. Now it's not hard to read. What I do know is that platforms will always arise and the good ones will stay. Period. Such as these platforms are. Oops. Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. See, now it's getting easier. Mark Whitehurst from Mark 2 says you should pay attention to blah, 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 blah. I can't really fix that much better. This is an adverb. Use a forceful verb. I could just delete it and it makes the sentence easier, and then I don't have the adverb problem, right? Where's that really hard? So the really hard, what I don't change is anything that's in a quote. So I'm not changing that. Replace or omit in order to be successful in social media, right? They don't like when I say just. Be bold, don't hedge. You have to do the work. So if I just take out just, then it's better, right? Now we're at an easier reading time. It's, this is still good, but it's just super easy to make something difficult to read, right? So let's pick the Wall Street Journal. Apple's revenue rises despite, I hate you. Okay, let's pick something else. Stanford business. That's what happens when you do these things on the fly. You know what I mean? Now, I imagine they're going to be a little bit more difficult to read, but we'll find out. See what Hemingway App says. Okay, copy. Go back to the editor. Paste. Okay, this is 14 grade level, so freshman. So it's saying poor, aim for 9. Well, that's fine. Stanford's audience for the business is people who have a higher education. It's 5,000 characters. It's 887 words. So it's the same length of what I just did, but it's much more difficult to read. If it's that much difficult to read, it's going to affect your SEO because it affects your readability, right? So 19 of 39 sentences are very hard to read. 19. 10 out of 39 are very hard to read. 3 phases, but still, they only have 1 extra adverb. 7, they're fine with passive voice, but it's the vocabulary. I mean, look at that. Those are really hard. But like I said, when you're quoting people, you really can't change what they said. What they could have done would say, Jen's, put that like this, and then make it a quote. And then, do we really care that Jens Heinmuller was a professor of political science and a co-author in the research paper titled blah, blah, blah? That's like, it's kind of, maybe not the best writing, right? But that's the whole point. The point is that it's difficult to read. And do you want your construction blog or your real estate blog or your nonprofit blog to be that hard to read? I don't think you do. So there's another tip from me, and I hope you enjoyed it.